My understanding
So
is
I
that
didn't
they
ask
didn't
a question. I didn't ask you a question, sir. Okay? So do you know that Elon Musk paid $44 billion for Twitter? Is that correct, Mr. Schellenberger? Were you aware of that?
Yes, I read that.
And did you know that he received that part of the funding from Saudi Arabia as well as Qatar?
And now the ranking member of the Committee on the Weaponization of Government is asking for your sources. If
I
that
never
doesn't
asked them
raise-
for their sources.
Yes,
I
you
did
did,
not
and
ask for sources.
what?
I asked
The
if they were
gentlelady is not-
talking
the
to
gentlelady
Elon
is
Musk.
not
And they
recognized.
said that they were not talking. Well, you are not going to say I've asked for sources.
I will yield back to the
Thank
gentlelady.
you.
I thank her for yielding.
With respect, you asked me who gave me
I asked you who
files.
gave it to you, and once you said they were your sources, I then asked you if you had spoken with Elon Musk. I did not ask you who those sources were.
Hey there, fellow freedom fighters. Welcome back to Right View Nation, where the truth doesn't come with a trigger warning, and we sure as hell don't apologize for loving this country. If you believe in the First Amendment, in real journalism, and in the power of we the people, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's fiery episode, hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it with every red-blooded American you know, and drop a comment below if you're tired of government overreach and elite cover-ups.
I yield back. I now recognize the ranking member for her 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Taibbi, the emails and documents you've produced all date to around 2020. Is that correct?
No, there's a significant portion of them from 2017 and 2018 as well.
Thank you. And Mr. Schellenberger, what dates do you have?
I believe that we had emails including 2022, 2021, 2020,
That's also true.
2019.
And Mr. Taibbi said 2018. Do you have 2018 as well?
I can't remember.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Taibbi, how many employees did Twitter employ in approximately the time period of 2020, 2021? Do you know?
I don't.
Okay, it was 7,500. Do you know how many were in its legal team during that time period?
I don't. I'm sorry.
And do you know how many were in its public policy team?
I don't.
Mr. Schellenberger, do you know how many were employed in content moderation during that time?
I do not know.
Okay. So we're looking at thousands of employees overall and hundreds in offices were the focus of emails and documents you released. I will ask you, Mr. Schellenberger, how many emails did Mr. Musk give you access to?
I mean, we went through thousands of emails.
Did he give you access to all of the emails for the time period in which?
Yeah, I never had a single request denied. And not only that, but the amount of files that we were given were so voluminous that there was no way that anybody could have gone through them beforehand. And we never found an instance where there was any evidence that anything had been taken out.
Okay, so you would believe that you have probably millions of emails and documents, right? That's correct, would you say?
Millions.
No, I think the number's
sounds
less than
too
that.
high.
Okay, 100,000?
That's probably closer.
Probably, yeah.
Probably close to 100,000 that both of you are saying. Yet in the Twitter files, Mr. Taibbi, you've produced only 338 of those 100,000 emails. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
And then who gave you access to these emails? Who was the
people at Twitter.
individual that gave you permission to access the emails?
Well, the attribution from my story is sources at Twitter, and that's what I'm going to refer to.
Okay. Did Mr. Musk contact you, Mr. Taibbi?
Again, the attribution from my story is sources at Twitter.
Mr. Schellenberger, did Mr. Musk contact you?
Actually, no. I was brought in by my friend Barry Weiss, and so this story, there's been a lot of misinformation.
So Mr. Weiss
or
brought you in.
disinformation about
Mr.
that.
Taibbi, Ms. Weiss, thank you. Mr. Taibbi, have you had conversations with Elon Musk?
I have.
Okay. And Mr. Taibbi, did Mr. Musk place any conditions on the use of the
Would the
email?
gentlelady yield for a second?
As long as my time is not used for
Are
it.
you trying to get journalists
No,
to
I'm not
expose
trying to
their
get, no,
sources?
I'm not.
Well,
I
it
am
sure sounds
asking,
like it.
no, well, if you will let me finish. And you had conversations with him, you said you weren't going to agree to who your sources were. I'm not asking you your source, I'm asking you if you had conversations with the owner of Twitter. And did Mr. Musk place any conditions on your use of the emails or documents?
No, in fact, I was told explicitly that we were given license to look at present-day Twitter as well as past Twitter.
So you had unfiltered access to Twitter's internal communications and systems?
Yes.
Would those include HR files?
No. We did not have access to personal information of any kind, In fact, we signed a waiver
Have
foregoing.
you produced that waiver to the members of anyone on this committee or any staff?
I'd be happy to
Have you?
produce it. I haven't, but I'd be happy.
Have you given all of the access to what you were given by your source to this committee?
No, and I would never do that.
Okay. I didn't ask if you were given the committee, the individuals, but all of the files? No, you have not?
No.
So what we're getting is your dissemination, your decision as to what was important and not important in that, correct?
Which is true in every news
Is
story.
in every story. But you have files that you say you are sharing, but those files are just a smaller period of the files. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes?
there's-
Okay, thank you. And the FTC investigation of Twitter, you knew that they were investigating Twitter before the time period that Mr. Musk came on?
I was aware of it, yes.
And the FTC was concerned with user data being hacked or used? Is that correct, that they didn't have enough checks and balances on that data?
Well, I wasn't privy to that part.
Have you seen the consent decree?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, the consent decree is concerned with user data, which would be probably the reason that they were concerned if they're giving files to journalists that potentially data about users as well as data about individuals and employees would be given to them.
My understanding
So
is
I
that
didn't
they
ask
didn't
a
ask-
question. I didn't ask you a question, sir. Okay? So do you know that Elon Musk paid $44 billion for Twitter? Is that correct, Mrs. Schellenberger? Were you aware of that?
Yes, I read that.
And did you know that he received that part of the funding from Saudi Arabia as well as Qatar?
I heard that.
And did you know that one of those individuals who owns Binance, was the company, Binance, while he has Canadian citizenship, he is a Chinese national? Were you aware of that?
I did not know that.
Okay, and that he stated that that was for the cause. But thank you very much for answering my questions. I yield back.
Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Wyoming for 5 minutes. Will the gentlelady yield for 20 seconds?
Yes.
I thank the gentlelady for yielding. I just think this is interesting. First, the FTC is asking for your background, and now the ranking member of the Committee on the Weaponization of Government is asking for your sources. If
I
that
never
doesn't
asked them
raise-
for their sources.
Yes, you
I
did,
did
and
not
we-
ask for sources.
what?
I asked
The
if they were
gentlelady is not-
talking
the
to
gentlelady
Elon
is
Musk.
not
And they
recognized.
said that they were not talking. Well, you are not going to say,
I will
I've
yield back
asked for
to, I will
sources.
yield back to the
Thank
gentlelady.
you.
I thank her for
With
yielding.
Thank
respect, you asked me who gave me, who gave me
I
the
asked you who
files.
gave it to you, and once you said they were your sources, I then asked you if you had spoken with Elon Musk. I did not ask you who those sources were.
The
For
gentlelady
the
from
record. Keep the
Wyoming is
record correct.
recognized, and she will receive an additional 20 seconds. The gentlelady is recognized for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And
All right, folks. Today we're breaking down a congressional hearing that was supposed to be about transparency. But what we got instead was a thinly veiled assault on independent journalism and a desperate attempt to silence the truth about the Twitter files. So let me get this straight. These two journalists, Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger, were given access to tens of thousands of internal communications from Twitter. Not by hackers, not by criminals, but by Twitter's own leadership, legally and willingly. And what do the Democrats do? They don't ask about what was in the files. They don't ask why Americans were being shadow banned, blacklisted, or censored. Nope. They try to dig into how these journalists got the information and who their sources were. Let me tell you something. This is exactly why we call them the weaponized government. Instead of holding big tech accountable for colluding with the federal government to suppress free speech during an election year, they want to intimidate the reporters who dared to expose it. What's even more disturbing, they tried to make it look like these guys were somehow reckless or irresponsible with user data. Give me a break. Both Taibbi and Schellenberger made it crystal clear. They didn't have access to HR files, private messages, or user data. They were going through emails between executives, internal communications, the kind of stuff that shows the rot from within. And let's not ignore the sleazy undertones here. The ranking Democrat went out of her way to bring up Elon Musk's foreign investors, Saudis, Qataris, and a Chinese-Canadian financier. Why? Because they're trying to spin a narrative that Elon Musk is some foreign agent. All because he bought Twitter and had the guts to hand over the truth to the American people. Let me ask you this. Where was that energy when the CCP was buying farmland next to U.S. military bases? Where was the outrage when Hunter Biden was cashing checks from Ukrainian oligarchs and Chinese energy firms? It's laughable. The hypocrisy is so thick you'd need a chainsaw to cut through it. Now here's the kicker. Out of over 100,000 emails, Taibai only published 338. Why? Because he exercised journalistic integrity. Unlike the mainstream media puppets who vomit propaganda day in and day out, he didn't dump everything. He carefully curated the ones that proved Twitter was coordinating with government agencies to silence dissent. That's what real journalism looks like, folks. And yet, Congress wants to know who his sources were. They want access to all the files, not to inform the public, but to control the narrative. This is Soviet-level nonsense happening right here in America. We are watching the criminalization of truth and the demonization of dissent. And don't think for a second this is just about Twitter. This is about setting a precedent. If they can come for independent journalists today, they'll come for you tomorrow, for your posts, your opinions, your right to speak up. Patriots, we cannot afford to sit this out. We are the last line of defense between freedom and tyranny. It's time to stand up for truth, for speech, for sovereignty, and for the real America. If you're sick and tired of the government bullying anyone who speaks the truth, then do your part. Like this video. Share it with your family and friends. Comment below, let me know where you stand. And most importantly, subscribe to Right View Nation, because this is where the fight back begins. Remember, the Constitution doesn't need a safe space. And neither do we. This is Right View Nation, where the truth still matters. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.